Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Witching Hour with the Greenwich Village and the Alchemy Sisters, where you tune in to drop out. I am one of your hostesses, Jenny McDaniel, and with me I have Mandy Elam and Leah Sugarts. Mandy, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. The sun's shining, the weather's great. Gotten in a lot of gardening the past couple of days, and I feel really good.
Good to hear it. How about you, Leah? How you doing?
I have had a really solid day so far. It's like 80-something degrees here in Chattanooga. One of my favorite musicians dropped a new album this morning, so in between clients, I've been like dancing in the sunshine in my sunroom. It's been amazing. Feel fantastic.
That's amazing. May I ask who dropped an album?
Nako and Medicine for the People, and it is hardcore 2020 medicine. So it's the name of the album is called Take Your Power Back. I highly, highly recommend, like, especially if you're in this weird, like, 2020 ghetto kind of, like, heavy, dense energy funk, this will pull you right out of it. Solid.
Oh, good to know. Thanks for sharing.
Of course.
Excellent. Yeah, I got to do some cleaning work in the next couple of days, so I think I know what I'll be listening to while I indulge in the cleaning, spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Sounds like you both are having wonderful days. I'm here north of Albuquerque and a sunshiny day and had wonderful meetings and sessions so far and just really enjoying the flow. And I'm digging that you ladies are high vibing, which makes me think we're going to have an excellent show. Which reminds me, should we get started? Should we take everyone on the journey? Should we go?
Let's do it.
On a journey, baby.
And for some of you that are just joining us and don't know, we are the Witching Hour, and we're a combination of the Greenwich Village as well as the Alchemy Sisters, and we do a trilogy of guided meditations in one session. I'm going to take you on a parallel journey to a past life, and Leah's going to take you on a fantastic guided relaxation journey, and then Mandy will end us off with a nice rooted, grounded journey as well. So you're in for a treat. So if everyone will just join me in closing their eyes as well as their mind's eye and their third eye, and notice your breath. The second you notice your breathing, you put your awareness and your intention on it, making it much more intense, much more intentional, and much more beneficial. So just recognizing that your breathing is energy work in itself. And I'd also like to remind you as you go into a deeper relaxation space that every time you breathe in light and love. And every time you breathe out anxiety and stress. And your body just naturally does that for you all day long. And as we continue our journey, I'll have you open up your third eye and see in front of you many rolling hills. As far as your eye can see, there are beautiful green rolling hills. The grass is swaying, the sun is perfect, and you feel the warmth, not only on your skin, but all the way down into your bones, warming you from the inside out and taking in all that deep love from the sun. You're going to notice in this rolling hill field that there is only one tree alone, and you and I are sitting knee to knee. And I say, are you ready? And you say you are, so I'll have you close your third eye and open up your mind's eye, more of the pineal gland space. And we're going to be walking down a path. I notice that this path is paved, which makes me think that we're on a more recent timeline. So as we walk through these paths of paved road, I notice a large city up ahead. It's a large city. They're calling it Chicago. And what we're going to do is continue following this path until we get to the select skyscraper that they would like us to go up to the very, very top. So as we're walking, we notice this tallest skyscraper, and we know that in a parallel life, we're sitting at the top of that, ruling the roost. So we're going to go get some power, some strategy, and some strength from this version of yourself that wants to come forward and be productive. So as we walk, we get closer to this beautiful skyscraper. And we notice the doorman is kind and opens the door, and we go in. And we go over to the elevator, and we say, take us to the top, because that's where we belong, and there's always room at the top. So we go straight to the top. The elevator man kindly lets us out, and we walk into a giant penthouse. And standing there in a stunning red gown, smoking a long, beautiful cigarette or joint to your liking, is the beautiful woman who owns the city. And she's got so much strength, it's just pouring out of her. So I say to her, do you know why we're here? And she's like, yeah, you're traveling through dimensions. Where are you coming from? I go, 2020. Oh, really? You'll have to tell me more about that in a second, but I figure you're here for a reason. And I say we are. We're here to bottle up that courage that you have, bring it into our own awareness, and then also dispense it. And you love this plant. You're really big into producing and making and moving the energy, and you think this is great that we're traveling through dimensions to gather information to bring it back. So, of course, you take time out of your busy Chicago schedule, and you sit us down on the couch, and I say, you'll have to tell me what year we're in. This isn't the 80s, and we're like, well, no, this is the 30s and the 40s, and in that space. And I say, wonderful, to set the stage a little bit more. And as you set us on this couch, you bring us a cup of tea, and you say, are you ready to siphon the most powerful energy that I have? And we're like, yes, ma'am. And so as we're just facing this beautiful, amazingly dressed woman, we're going to notice that she has a beautiful hose coming out of her heart chakra, as well as her throat chakra, as well as her third eye, and they are simply just hooking up to us, and we start to siphon what is strength and courage and fearlessness. And as we're letting that pump into all of our chakras, it is going to all of them. They just had us hook it up to specific ones for imagery purposes. But what they're saying is we're going to continue siphoning all this strength and awareness, and we're going to continue communicating to you about the current time frame. And we're going to do a little energy work in the current time frame too. So as we're siphoning the strength and courage and what I would call incredible maverick energy, we start talking to you, and you're just about 100 years behind us. So we thought we'd elaborate while we're siphoning, give something back while we're taking. It's a good rule of thumb. And as we continue to chat with you, you say, well, what is it like? What's 2020 like? And I say, well, we're breaking down huge constructs, sister. There's going to be a lot more women in politics as well as in business. And you just are jumping for joy because you're one of the only ones like yourself back in that time frame that was a woman without a husband running shit. So again, we're pulling in all that independence and all that strength and sexuality and courage. It's just beautiful. And I say you are peppering in through a time frame that really does help build up the future. The 20s, the 30s, and the 40s are pivotal movement for where we're at. We couldn't have done it without you. So salute to you. But yes, constructs are breaking. And we chose to incarnate in this time frame continuum to be a part of the rebuilding of a society, a more sustainable green society, one that has more wealth distribution, less rich people at the top, and more middle class people gaining knowledge as well as awareness as well as money. So shrinking that rich class, growing that middle class would be wildly beneficial, which is what we're going into. We're breaking down the constructs to get there. And you're just fascinated by this. You think it's just the coolest thing, and indeed it is. And I say, any other questions about 2020? And you say, what about gay marriage? And I say, that's legal now. And you're just, again, jumping for joy. Not often you get to check the future temperature. And I say, what about giving us some insight on how you became this business executive? And you say, well, my dad was very powerful. He didn't have any sons. I got out all of the knowledge, and I stood right at the top and I performed better than anyone. So this is why I got to sit at the top at this time frame where most women don't. And we're just, again, siphoning all that strength and wisdom that was required and a lot of confidence. Because when you stand at the top, people throw rocks at you, and that's generally how that goes. Not all people, but some people want to. So being strengthful in your awareness, standing at the top, even though there's not a lot of people to support you up there, that is where you belong. So I say, any other questions about 2020? And you say, what about interracial marriages? And I say, oh yeah, definitely mainstay, definitely happening all the time. Certainly can use some work still in that space as far as racism is concerned, but we are, and we have moved. Just know we're taking what you built up and moving it forward into the future, and we're doing it with as much heart, energy, and strength as we can, and courage. And you salute us walking out of that room, that penthouse, and we go down the elevator and out the front, and we're on the path, and we're going to go back to the rolling hill under that one single tree. And before I left, you snuck me a little diamond to put back into our chakras when we got back to the rolling hills and the tree. And as I open up my hand, it's the most shiny diamond I've ever seen. Everyone imagine in your mind's eye taking this diamond, the energy of this diamond, setting it on your crown chakra, and letting it drop down, all the way down, down, down into your root chakra. And we're going to let that diamond sit there and twirl around. And we're going to do a little more imagery while we're in this beautiful field. As we let that diamond marinate in that root chakra, I'd like to have you see in your mind's eye some roots start to form out of that root chakra. See them coming out of that low back down into the legs, past the knees, past the ankles, into the ground, to the center of the ground, where we're going to hook ourselves up to Mother Gaia. So imagine taking those roots and just putting them right into the core of this earth and watching her pump her love from the center up through those roots, into your feet, up into your knees, up into your hips, and it's swirling around that root chakra. But let's not stop there. Bring your energy up into the sacral chakra, beautiful orange spinning wheel of light. Go ahead and come up into your solar plexus, beautiful yellow spinning wheel of light. Bring her all the way up into your heart chakra, beautiful, bright, green, large spinning wheel of light. And as we give that a spin, we fling off any unnecessary energies like stress and anxiety and fear. And we replace it with courage, excitement, and curiosity. And we're going to bring that energy right up into that beautiful baby blue chakra. Go ahead and grow that. Grow that as big as you want, because this is one of our tools this lifetime, is to use our voice to put our opinion into the ethers, as well as to use it to give affirmations, as well as loving energy. And who can forget about singing? So just recognizing the throat chakra as a beautiful tool to get you where you want to be and to bring comfort to others who need it, especially in these trying times like we're experiencing in 2020. But just know this is bringing forth perfect vision, and all this does work to a means to an end, where we do bring the heart over the ego and heal the planet's energy field. Bring it all the way up into the third eye. Beautiful purple spinning wheel of light. Open that so you can bring in all kinds of awareness. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed in life, you can close it a little to give yourself a little break. So whatever suits you today is what you'll be doing for yourself and every day. Go ahead and pop up into that crown chakra, beautiful white connecting tube of light. Takes us to the divine, takes us to the creator, takes us to our higher self. We're always attached, and you can bring awareness and strength to that connection by just noticing it's there, seeing it in your mind's eye. Again, you're a master energy worker when you do that. It's as easy as that, putting awareness and intention toward particular chakras, and while you're at it, why not do them all? And I'm going to have you return back into your room, the room you were sitting in before we went to the rolling fields with the green grass and the single tree. And you'll find that you're going to be in a relaxed state and place. And Leah is going to take you even deeper.
So as you bring your awareness back into the physical space that you are currently dwelling in, perhaps you move to your back. Maybe you adjust your seat. But we're going to pull our awareness back into like the solar plexus sacral chakra area, so often referred to as the womb space. No matter how you identify as far as your gender, just bringing the awareness into the center of the body, and take 3 rounds of really deep breath. And so as you inhale, you feel the rib cage, the belly expand, perhaps pause at the top. And then maybe the lips part as you exhale, the breath falls out of the mouth. So doing this on your own cadence, own pace. Inhaling to fill up the breath, the body. Feel it percolating in the belly. Perhaps there's a pause at the top and then a deep, solid, long exhale on your own time. And then last one, breathing in, filling up. And on your own time, releasing, breathing out. Holding the awareness here. It is said in the yogic philosophy that the kundalini energy that we all carry within our physical energetic vessels, the energy of creation, lies at the base of the root chakra. And it's also said that our creative fire to create the life that we desire, the world in which we wish to live, and even daily routines and habits, all of that essence lies within the sacral and solar plexus chakras. So take some time here to breathe really deeply into this area, and then as you do, feel that expand, and perhaps you bring your mind's eye back to the visualization of the energy centers themselves expanding in their color as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, perhaps feeling the body softening a little bit more deeply as any old stagnant energy makes its way out of your field. So if this is a visualization that works for you this afternoon, holding on to that. And then as the mind begins to settle just a little bit more deeply, can you ask the chakras here, solar plexus, sacral chakras, what is it that I now have the courage to create for this current timeline? So we've come from this parallel existence with strength and fearlessness and courage and this essence of determination to really step into power to create that change. And so what is it that arises for you here as that question swirls in the energy centers of the lower half of the body? And we're just going to notice what comes up. We don't have to attach ourselves to anything that arises right now. Perhaps you begin to see visualizations in your mind's eye of how that plays out in your existence. Or maybe you're just holding on to the visualization of these energy centers expanding and brightening in colors as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, they cleanse, they release, they soften. And as you sit and as you do this energy work here, can you begin to feel vibrationally how the body shifts as we focus our intention of creation and manifestation here? So is there an emotional reaction or an emotional shift in vibration that happens for you here as we work with this lower half of the energy centers? Stay with the breath. Don't force the mind to hold any visualization. Just allow the mind to kind of wander between the realms here as the energetic undercurrent of this work is just happening naturally as we intend and as we breathe and as we allow, as we surrender. And then the next inquiry question that they're throwing out is, where can we direct our energy? Where can we direct our energy so we can feel the most empowered in the work that we're doing on an individual level? And so what does that bring up for you emotionally, visually? How does that change the vibration, the color of the energy centers that we're working with, sacral, solar plexus chakra? We'll be in this center for just another minute or so here, allowing the mind to bounce around these questions of inquiry. Notice what the heart, the intuition brings forward as an answer. Don't attach yourself to it, just notice. So we're just witnessing here. Learning to listen. Trusting that the roadmap is being integrated in our energetic, intuitive bodies. Take about 5 more rounds of breath here. And if you've lost the intention for the breath, come back to it. You can drop the visualizations or the questions if you like, maybe just focusing on the breath. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. And then from here, let's pull our awareness down into the root chakra. So wherever that lands in your physical body, we grew roots in the first part of this journey all the way into the center of the earth. They moved down through the knees, the calves, into the feet, and into the middle of the earth. And so anywhere in the lower half of the body you can rest where you feel this connection, this rootedness. And then I invite you to begin to visualize what your Kundalini energy looks like here. So does it have color? Does it have an essence that you can begin to visualize? Does it spark an emotional feeling within? And then can you allow this magic that is Shakti, Kundalini, creative life force energy to just really, really subtly vibrate up into the sacral solar plexus chakras. And so we're not really going to pull Kundalini energy up, right? We're just going to be really subtly allowing whatever that looks like to charge these other energy centers that we've been working with. And then we're just going to feel into that vibration. And maybe you come to this mantra of I am powerful, I am creative, I am fearless, I am strong. And breathing into these spaces here and then just holding on to the truth and the knowing that we have this power within us, right, at any time. And when we feel like we have more work to do, but maybe we're beginning to bog ourselves down, we can drop down into this root chakra and then just pull from Kundalini energy and also from the earth so that we feel really rooted, we feel really powerful. Take about 5 more rounds, really long, deep breath here. If you need to drop any visualizations and just intentionally bring concentration back to the breath. No worries. Allow yourself to do so. Just know that as we work in these lower half of these energy centers, that we are really charging and clearing ourselves up to tap into that strength, that fearlessness, that creative force. 2 more rounds of breath. And then wherever you are, I invite you to soften the jaw, release the shoulders down away from the ears, and maybe find some really small movements in the head and the neck. And without totally pulling ourselves out of this meditation, out of this state of relaxation, just pulling awareness back into the physical body and then noticing once again, we're just a witness. The intention of calling in this power, this fearlessness, this strength. How does the physical body respond? Just noticing, softening, releasing tension, anxiety, stress as it arises, perhaps out of the mouth with an exhale. And then maybe this speaks to you bringing 2 hands to the belly. You can bring the tips of the thumbs and the tips of the first fingers to touch, creating a triangle shape. This is referred to as Yoni Mudra. And we'll use this gesture of the hands to seal in the work of this visualization, of this meditation. So knowing that with this mudra, we seal in that power, that fearlessness, that strength, that courage. We also seal in the knowing that we have our connection to Gaia and to our own Kundalini to pull from anytime we feel overwhelmed. And then let's start to conjure a feeling of gratitude here, keeping the mudra. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Gaia, to your higher self, for the journeys that we've been on, for the work that we're doing. And then perhaps from here, if it feels right, maybe you just adjust yourself physically as I pass you over to Mandy for the 3rd part of this afternoon's journey.
Thank you, Leah. So now that you're all tuned up and comfortable and your root chakra feels so cleansed and empowered, I invite you to imagine that you're sitting. And you're sitting in a beautiful field with green grass and birds flying around and golden sun shining on you. In the distance, there's a beautiful forest. Just looking over there feels cooler. And you're enjoying the amazing sun that you're sitting in. When you suddenly hear a whisper, "Come here." You look around you and you don't see anything. You hear the whisper again, "Over here." As you turn over your shoulder, you look towards the forest line and you see that there's a path. And there's beautiful golden rays of sunlight sparkling down, almost inviting you over. And again, you hear, "Come here." And it sounds warm and nice. So you get curious, and you stand up, and you walk over towards the path. As you get to the path, you see a beautiful forest. There are tall trees and green leaves that are bright from the sunshine hitting them. And beautiful white butterflies flying around, zooming past the shrubs and the fallen branches. You hear a stream flowing, and you look over and you see that there is one in this forest, not too far from the path. Then you hear, "Come here," even louder. So you turn and you look, and to your surprise, there is a beautiful, blue, glowing forest fairy in front of you. See, I don't think in your mind's eye, in your heart, you think, I don't think I've ever seen one of these. And before you can even finish your thought, the fairy says, "Hi, my name is Time." And you say, "Time? Like time, like on a clock?" And she giggles and says, "No, time like the herb." And you giggle and you say, "Okay." And she says, "Come with me. I want to take you on an adventure." And you said, "Okay." So the two of you start walking. You start to walk as she flies next to you and swirls around you as you're just in awe by the magic that is happening all around you. Everything is sparkly and bright. And Time is very kind. And just by being near her, you feel better. She says, "There's another friend who wants to see you." And you say, "Okay, that sounds exciting." So suddenly, from around a huge tree, comes a giant white wolf. As the wolf gets closer, you step back a little, kind of scared, not sure what to do. And Time says, "It's okay. This is Wolf, and Wolf is here to guide you today, as well as me. And we're going to take you on a journey." She says, "It's safe. Wolf enjoys taking people for rides. Would you like to go for a ride with Wolf and I?" And you look over at Time, and with a very warm heart, you just say yes. You don't even think about it. You don't even question it. You just know it feels right and in alignment. So Time tells you, "It's okay. You can hop on Wolf's back, and Wolf's going to take you. And I'm going to fly next to you." And you say, "Okay." So you do, and you hop on almost effortlessly as Wolf bows down, and you gracefully hop on. And you begin to trot, and the beautiful breeze feels absolutely amazing on your face. You feel completely weightless and powerful as you hold this beautiful white mane on this gorgeous giant white wolf. All of a sudden, Wolf starts to go a little faster, and you suddenly get into a really nice gallop. And you sit up and you look up, and there's mountains as far as you can see, and a gorgeous river cutting through the mountains, and it's sparkling with golden light, just nourishing everything around you. Your heart feels like it's going to jump out of your chest because you feel so amazing and so alive and so free. Time flies next to you, and she giggles and says, "Isn't this amazing?" And you say, "It sure is." And Wolf starts to slow down a little bit. And you start to trot and then walk over to a field with lots and lots of tall grass just blowing in the wind. Wolf bends down, and Time says, "It's okay, you can get off now. Wolf's going to stay here, but we need you to get off now." And you said, "Okay." So you get off, and Time says, "There's someone who wants to see you in this grass." And you say, "Well, how do I get there? I can't see through this grass." And Time says, "All you have to do is walk straight and part the grass as you walk." And so you say, "Okay," and you start to walk. And as you start to walk, you start separating the grass. And you're separating the grass and walking through, and separating the grass and walking through, and separating the grass and walking through. Suddenly you see a huge clearing. And as you separate the last pieces of grass, you step into a big, beautiful circle. And at the very end of this circle is a gorgeous, honey-colored, beautiful, glowing bear. Is a little nervous because you know you're in a circle with a bear. But then you take a breath and you say, no, this is okay, and this is a beautiful and safe and wonderful adventure that I was led on. So as you walk a little closer, you see that things start to change in this bear. Her honey-colored fur starts to shift into long, beautiful white hair. And some of her skin starts to emerge in the same honey color that the fur was. She says to you, hello, beautiful soul. I am the goddess, and I am so happy that you came here to visit me. I like to take many forms, so you happened to come when I was enjoying being a bear. And I'm so glad you got to see that. You feel so excited, and you start to smile, and this beautiful, loving, nurturing feeling just takes over you. And you know, simply standing in the presence of this being, no matter who they are, they make you feel incredible. She says to you, I'm so proud of you. Life is very hard, and living is a very brave thing to do. And I'm so glad that you're taking the time to nurture yourself and allow yourself to journey to be here with me now. I want to remind you that you are exactly where you need to be right now. Even if it doesn't always feel like it, you are so worthy and you are so meant to be. I want to remind you that it's important to love yourself and release judgment as much as possible of yourself and others as your heart is expanding on this journey. Remember that your body is one and it's of perfect harmony. It gives you natural wisdom, and it's safe to be comfortable with yourself and allow your body to tell you things that it wants to share with you. It is safe to know that you are protected and you are infinite and you are eternal and you are so held by myself and spirit and the universe. We want you to know that your purpose is to truly live and to love and to share love, and that it's safe to let love in. I encourage you to be open to receiving all good and invite you to release the past and leave it in the past and invite you into the present now so that you can truly make decisions from the heart. Your heart is expanding more and more each day in this new, wild, beautiful life. And if you listen to your heart, things will become more and more clear. Though things are scary and wild in this world, it is safe to adapt to change easily and to accept life. Allow your beautiful heart that's so connected with me now to lead you along your soul path one step at a time. And know that everything that got you here happened for you, and there are no needs for regrets. Okay to forgive yourself and others. I am so proud of you and so happy that you came on this journey to visit me today. And she gives you a hug and you feel her warmth. And suddenly she starts to shift into a bear. And as she expands and becomes bigger as a bear, you gently take a step back and you look into her gorgeous green eyes. And you see the thread that weaves through her and how she can embody anything she wants to whenever she so chooses. And you turn around and you face the circle and you start walking through it. And as you get to the edge of the circle, you start to part the grass. And as you part the grass, you get to the forest lining where you see your beautiful blue fairy friend, Time. And she says, hello, how was that? And you say, incredible. I don't even have the words. And she says, that's what everybody says. And then you see Wolf standing there. He gives you a little nod, and you walk over, and he bends down, and you jump on his back again. And feeling so held and so loved and so safe, you enjoy a beautiful ride along his back, looking at all of the peaks and valleys and streams and sunlight trickling in. Wolf brings you close to the edge of the forest and kneels down. He says thank you telepathically. You see it through his eyes and you feel it in your heart. You bow to him in gratitude. Then Time says, how is that? And you say, that was just fantastic. Thank you so much, Time. And she says, oh, you're welcome. I invite any human who ever wants to come on a journey with me to come on a journey with me. It's my favorite thing to do. She says, thank you for being open and willing and curious and coming. You say, my pleasure. Start to walk back to the edge of the forest, feeling so loved and so free. You turn around one last time and look over your shoulder to say goodbye to Wolf and Time, but they're already gone. They're no longer there. So you turn to the forest and you bow your head and you say, thank you so much, forest, for nourishing me, healing me, leading me, and guiding me into the chamber of my heart. Thank you for recalibrating me, and thank you for allowing my sense of adventure and wonder to rise. Then you turn and you walk back over to the beautiful field, down. You take a breath and you say, what does my heart want most in this moment? And that's for you to answer. And Leah and Jenny and I thank all of you so much for tuning in to the Witching Hour here on Heart Over Ego Radio. You can find a replay of this on our YouTube channel. You can find a replay of this on our Facebook page, Heart Over Ego Radio. And we thank you so much for taking time out of your day to nourish your souls and to receive healing light. Namaste.